Today I'm going to show you how to balance equations. Balancing equations is one of the most important topics in algebra. There are 4 basic steps. Step number 1, distribute. The only time you distribute is when you see parentheses. So in this problem we have the -2 right here, and we have to distribute that out to the 2x and the 5. So you've got to draw your arrows and then multiply it out. So first we rewrite 3x, and then a -2 times a positive 2x is minus 4x, and then you have the -2 times the positive 5, which is -10, equals positive 10. Always make sure that you distribute out the sign as well as the number. See, it was a -2, not a positive 2, so you distribute it to each thing. Now step number 2 is to combine like terms. So that means you got to get like things together. So in this case we actually have 2 like terms that are on the same side. If you notice, we got these 3x's and then we have minus 4x's. So when you combine those together, so you combine them, 3x take away 4x would be negative 1x minus 10 equals a positive 10. You can just rewrite the equation. So again, combine like terms, first distribute, then combine like terms. Now step 3, kind of ran out of room on that one. Step 3 is to add or subtract terms to both sides. So in this case, we're actually going to have to get rid of this minus 10. So you got to get minus 10 to the other side. So the opposite of, I better draw my balance line. The opposite of minus 10 is a plus 10. So you add 10 to both sides. So those cancel out. So we're left with negative 1x equals 10 plus 10 is 20. All right, so first distribute, combine like terms, then add or subtract. Now we go on to step number 4 is to isolate the variable. And you do this by multiplying or dividing. So in this case, I'm going to have to get rid of this -1. So if you look at the operation in between, it's a multiplication. You assume there's a dot. So the opposite of multiplying is dividing. So we divide by -1. -1 divided by -1, those cancel out. We have to do it to both sides. So a positive divided by a negative is a negative. So x equals a negative 20. And that is how you balance equations. First you distribute, then you combine like terms, then you add or subtract, so we do the opposite of minus with addition, and then you multiply or divide. Now let's look at this other example. Again, we follow the same process. Let's do this one in red. So first I'm going to draw a balance and a dividing line just for neatness of work. Okay, so we distribute. We have parentheses. You can only distribute when you see parentheses. So we distribute. 2 times x is 2x, and then 2 times minus 3 is minus 6. And we have an equals, so we distribute the -4. -4 times 4 is -16, and a -4 times a negative x is a positive, so a plus 4x. All right, now we try to combine like terms. In this case, see, we have a variable and a constant. We can't combine those. We have a constant and a variable. We can't combine those. So now we go on to step 3, add or subtract. So let's get the x's over to this side. So the opposite of a positive 2x is a negative 2x, or a minus 2x. So I'll do minus 2x, and I'm going to take away the x from the x term, so minus 2x to both sides. Okay, so here we have -6 equals -16, and then a positive 4x minus 2x is a positive 2x. Now we have to get rid of the minus 16. So again, we're still adding or subtracting. The opposite of minus 16 is plus 16. So you add 16 to both sides, add 16, add 16. Again, these cancel out. So 6, a -6 and a positive 16 is a positive 10. So 10 equals 2x. Now what operation goes between the 2 and the x? Multiplication. So now we go on to step 4, isolate the variable. So the variable is almost by itself. So to isolate this, we got to get rid of the times 2. So the opposite of times 2 is divide by 2. Do it to both sides, and x equals 5. And again, that is how you do balancing equations. Now, it's your turn.